Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, before I get started with this lesson, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachahakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth and rule well. Peace and blessings unto the hopeful elect pushing his word throughout the four corners of the earth in truth, righteousness, and sincerity. To you I say shalom. This is your brother Yeshaya coming at you again through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And in this lesson, pretty much going to entitle it More Censorship to Come. All right, more censorship to come. All right. And I got a couple articles and a video to play and just get some precepts, because seeing that we're coming to a new year, we're going to start seeing really more and more of a crackdown on truth. Esau has this war on information, and ultimately it's all a means a means for him to have control of the narrative. As you know, every time Esau goes to war, right, he always pushes his propaganda. There's always him having control of information, pushing propaganda, and that's just a way for him to maintain control, right? Influence, right? But as we seeing we're coming to the times of his end. We're seeing that this man is losing his control of everything. He loses control of the resources. He loses control of information. He loses control on pretty much what's kept secret and what's not. He's being exposed on all fronts, right? What's another thing he loses control on? The economy, right? It's a lot of things, right, that we see in this man. Ultimately, is the Most High who is stripping him away of everything, right? But we're seeing that, being that we're at his end, and that the truth is out here. We're starting to see this man start cracking down more and more on information, the truth primarily, right? But he's going to use this. He's going to use certain things like disinformation, or misinformation, or fake news, and all this shit, right? All these terms that he likes to throw out there, as to pretty much use those as reasons to bring in this type of control that he wants to implement, right? And this type of control is gonna, infringe on everybody's freedoms. Your what's it called? What are they called? Your amendments, your constitution, all that. It's all gonna be infringed upon, right? You ain't Sooner or later, Esau's gonna do away with all that, right? But let's go ahead and jump right into this article. I don't want to jump the gun, but this is from naturalnews.com. It says 2024, the year America's freedoms were stripped away, surveillance, censorship, and government overreach, right? So surveillance, right? We're seeing more of that. We're seeing that in the UK, right? When they pretty much made it to where they're able to use biometrics and facial recognition on their CCTV cameras, right? Censorship, more censorship on social media sites, right? YouTube, all that. It says in government overreach. But we're going to touch into this. And like I said, I got another article and another video, and Lord willing, this be an edifying lesson. But this says, in 2024, the U.S. government expanded mass surveillance using facial recognition, biometric data, and geofencing to track citizens' movements and activities. You see? So this is what just happened recently with people who ain't paying attention, who ain't noticing these things, who ain't, looking at the news, looking at what Esau is doing. Hey, all y'all, all Jake who ain't paying attention to this, really, who ain't paying attention to what's going on, period, is lost, man. Because this is clearly showing the stages, the steps that Esau is taking to implement his NWO, right? That technocracy, that full control that he has always dreamed about, right? These are the steps that he's taken to enter into that, right? You have certain books like George Orwell, 1987, I believe, or 84. Can't remember the exact title, but uh, that book pretty much goes into that mass surveillance, right? The tracking of the people and all that, right? That pretty much that dystopian society where everybody is being watched. You can't do things that's you can't really do things in secret. I mean, if you do things, you gotta do it in secret. You can't, you know what I'm saying? Pretty much whatever the government deems as um, bad or unlawful, pretty much you can't do, right? Because right now you have cameras everywhere, you know that, and with this whole um, biometric readings and all this and that through the cameras, now they're able to know who you are and pretty much know everything, get all the information they need off of you just by having a camera on you, right? But anyway, continuing on, it says the Biden administration justified these measures as public safety initiatives, but critics label them as a power grab, eroding privacy and freedom. You see? You know, because ultimately what Esau likes to use is this term called ordo ab chaos, or, excuse me, or order out of chaos, right? You know, and it's pretty much a means to impose a totalitarian rule over society, right? They do it by first creating chaos, you know, through various forms of um, false flags or, you know, T attacks, you know what I'm saying? Um, and then getting the public scared and pretty much making it seem like there's a problem, there's some chaos going on, so we got to come up with a solution, right? But they use that chaos as an excuse to institute order, right? And it's all going to be by what they deem to be necessary, right? And of course, the public is just going to side right alongside with it, right? Because now you got on the internet, like going back to this point on information, now you got certain things um, like AI, for example, right? That's out here just pumping out a lot of different videos, misinformation videos that look real, right? Deep fakes, all that. And again, that's Esau. Esau is the one that created that. He put that out there. That's that which causes that disturbance, causes that chaos, and throughout the internet. You got these T attacks. These people going around like you just had in the beginning of the year. Somebody go through, was it New Orleans and run over people. You had uh, some dude in Las Vegas blow himself up in his Tesla truck, right? But they were talking about how they were able to track these people down or know who they were based off their biometrics, tattoos or whatever it was, right? So these are certain things that they're going to try to use as means to convince the public that these laws are necessary, that these measures that they're instituting are necessary in order for them to bring safety to the public, right? To bring order, right? But ultimately, it's just a subterfuge for control, right? Now, continuing on, it says social media platforms pressured by the government censored dissenting voices, particularly targeting conservative viewpoints and critics of progressive policies. Now, we know, even though they might be doing this, they're really targeting the truth. They're really targeting the camps, right? The truth in particular, right? Here at GMS, that's the reason why we gotta say things in code, man. We gotta be careful what we say. We can't just upload and say whatever because otherwise the video will get taken down, right? Receive a strike and then eventually, possibly even take down your whole channel, right? But that's all because of certain things like misinformation or what they call medical misinformation. Whenever the whole C-19 was going on, they took down a lot of brothers' channels just because of medical misinformation, right? But it says the Global Engagement Center and other programs use taxpayer funds to suppress misinformation, further stifling free speech and creating an echo chamber. And that's essentially what they want. They want an echo chamber. They don't want nobody else coming with other viewpoints or other facts or things that debunk what they're saying, right? Because ultimately, for this new world order to work, they need an echo chamber. They need everybody to be along with it in order for everything to go seamless. But as we understand the truth being out here, things ain't gonna go seamless. Things ain't gonna go smooth for Esau. There's gonna be resistance, right? And ultimately, the main resistance is gonna be through the man of the Lord, who ain't gonna bow to, who ain't gonna bend the knee to the image of Baal, who ain't gonna take that MOTB, right? Who ain't gonna agree to, uh, um, well, ultimately, like I said, ultimately at the end, to be alongside the system. But continuing on, it says critics argue that 2024 marked a turning point for the government's assault on individual liberties, with privacy and free expression becoming relics of the past. And that's true. You know, especially I mean, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things. You had the medical misinformation. You have things on the MOTB. I can't say the whole, like we have to say MOTB, which is an abbreviation to Mark of the Beast, because of risk of getting the channel clipped, right? We can't say speaking about these mo's, you can't say the F word, otherwise your damn channel will get taken down. You can't say uh, or even on the title, you can't really write down the word Esau, otherwise this man gets hurt and decides to take it down. So there's a lot of things that they're naming misinformation, a lot of things they're really attacking in order for them to have the pretty much to maintain the narrative that they're pushing. But continuing on in this article, it says in 2024 the erosion of American liberties reached alarming new heights. From the expansion of the surveillance state of the relentless censorship of free speech, the year marked a turning point in the government's assault on the very freedoms that define our nation. Under the guise of safety and security, Democrats and their allies in big tech waged an unprecedented war on privacy, free expression, and individual rights. You see, and like I said, ultimately, I mean, we're in 2025 now, right? So things are just gonna get worse. Things is not gonna get easier. Things ain't gonna get lax. No, things is just gonna get tighter and tighter. There's gonna be more restrictions, more censorships, right? More laws, all that. But it says the surveillance state grew more pervasive than ever with facial recognition technology, biometric data collection, and geofencing dragnets becoming commonplace. Americans' every move, whether online or in public, was tracked, recorded, and stored in various government databases. The government, in collusion with corporations, created a dystopian network of digital peeping toms, turning every smartphone and smart device and social media account into a tool for mass surveillance. So it's telling you right there, man. Right? They're telling you right there. You have the government peeping and peering into your lives. They're able to track where you are, gather information, biometric data, all that, man. Right? And like I said, this is all these are all things that Esau's going to use to um, establish that NWO. Right? He already has certain things already in place. All he has to do is just turn on the switch. Right? Now, right here in this paragraph, it says this Orwellian reality is not the work of a distant authoritarian regime, but the result of policies championed by the Biden administration and its Democratic allies. Now, it's referencing that book that I mentioned, or by what's his name, George Orwell, 1984. Like I said, I think that's the name of the book, 1984. But like I said, pretty much in that book goes into that dystopian type of civilization or city or type of empire that ultimately Esau is trying to create, right? But it says the government's insatiable appetite for control has transformed America into a nation where privacy is a relic of the past and freedom is a privilege granted only to those who tie the line, who toe the line. That's right. Pretty much, it's not really freedom. If you gotta toe the line, it's not freedom. You pretty much you're restrained under certain guidelines, right? Um, Let me skip down to this social media censorship, and it says silence and dissent. It says while the surveillance state expanded, so too did the government's effort to control the flow of information. Social media platforms, often acting as the at the behest of federal agencies, engaged in widespread censorship of viewpoints deemed unacceptable by the ruling elite. That's right. And it's gonna, like I said, it's just gonna get worse. We're gonna start seeing more and more restrictions, man. Right? Like I said, we're coming to the end of this place. We understand persecution is on its way. Right? Esau's already, taking steps to ensure that a lot of the blame that happens here in this world is targeted towards the truth, those who believe in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, right? But it says, under the Biden administration, the fight against so-called misinformation became a thinly veiled excuse to suppress free speech, right? Because misinformation has always existed. It's just now because the truth is out here and it's hurting Esau, and this truth is becoming more and more mainstream, that they have to create this problem. Like I said, Esau created this problem. He has people out there throwing out his information. As a matter of fact, Esau is the misinformation king. He's the one that puts all the propaganda, pushes all those lies out there. Right? He's the king of misinformation. So if anyone needs to be getting off the damn internet, it's him. But he's hurt because everything is backfiring against him. The internet that he created, that he put out there to help him forward his enterprise, is backfiring. It's come to find out. Well, I mean, it's been found out, but now it's coming to find out that Esau's the devil. This man's a problem of the earth. He's caused everything he's attained was through the bloodshed and the blood, sweat, and tears of others, man. Everything he gained was through rape, robbery, and murder. He never gained anything that he has, nothing that he has attained, he has gotten through just means, right? But now, like I said, now it's coming back to hurt him, and and even now, what he's doing now, through the child trafficking, the fight for resources, the war on people for resources. These wars that he creates, it's all coming to find out that it is all for his gain, right? He has no interest in saving the world or helping everybody. His only interest is forwarding his agenda. More power, more control, right? But continuing on, it says, the government funneled millions of taxpayer dollars into programs aimed at policing online discourse. Universities, nonprofits, and tech companies received grants to study and combat misinformation with a particular focus on silencing critics of C-19 policies. You see? It says climate change narratives and other progressive agendas. Social media giants like Facebook and Twitter, under pressure from the White House, removed posts, banned accounts, and manipulated algorithms to suppress conservative voices. And best believe they're manipulating the algorithms to suppress this truth as well. They're not just doing that to political leaders or whatever. They're doing this because they're doing this against us as well. Because out of all the videos that brothers have made, you know, ain't no way the algorithm, uh, 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 ain't no way that the algorithm is skewed to the point where ain't nobody seeing our videos, right? So Esau's doing something to the algorithm to make our voices not be heard. But at the end of the day, you know, this truth is going to go out only to those that are part of the elect. I mean, all Jay's going to hear this at the end of the day, but to those who really need to hear this, the Most High is going to make it to where they do hear it, right? Because, you know, we're here only for the elect at the end of the day. But of course, we're also going to condemn and continue to preach, you know, even to those who ain't part of the elect, just to, condemn them. But let me get a precept real quick. Let's get, what was that precept? So Isaiah 29, because this is what's coming down the pipe soon. Isaiah 29 and verse 21, it reads, that make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught. Right, and that's pretty much what Esau is going to do. They're going to make a man an offender for a word. You say C19, boom, video clip. Or even later, you know, they might ban the names of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. They might ban certain talking points, name them, call them anti-Semitic or anti-Shem, whatever they say, right? So it's a lot of things that Esau is laying out that's going to be laid out as a snare, right? It says as a snare, trap for those that reprove in the gate. Because who's those that's reproving at the gate? The prophets. We're the ones condemning Esau and reproving them for his actions, right? And that's essentially that snare that he's leaving out there, you know, to grab us up, you know. Because essentially, because at the end of the day, Esau is going to make this this word, how should I say it? Pretty much, he's going to make it to where preaching the word is going to be an illegal act, right? If you teach this word, you're going to be persecuted. You're going to be sentenced to jail, shit, even put to death. I mean, we all understand that the MOTB, you know, the micro C-hip, if you don't take that, it's going to be death, right? So, but hey, this is all just him laying down the steps to eventually, you know, come down hard. What pretty much the point is that he's bringing out means in order for him to be justified, right? In order for him to be justified in coming down with that great wrath, as the scripture says, right? Now let me get this. This is Revelation 13 and verse 11. It says, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth. Excuse me. And he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. Now that beast, talking about Esau, talking about Esau's empire, right? Rome 2.0. It said he had two horns like a lamb because they had the two parties, right? The Democratic and the Republican Party, right? Making it seem like you have pretty much giving you that illusion of choice. But ultimately, they're all, you know, two coins of the same, two faces of the same coin, right? They use this thing called Hegelian dialect, to where they use two opposing views or two opposing parties in order to come to one, to the same outcome, right? Again, that illusion of choice. But it says, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon, meaning he's going to come down with them hard laws, them draconian measures, right? Martial law, you know, certain laws that can put you to death oh, if you have a certain curfew, if you're out around 11 o'clock, you're gonna get killed on the spot. You had I forgot the country. I forgot what country it was, but there was a country just last year that made that put certain restrictions like that, right? It was short. It was for a short period of time, but hey, that can happen, man. Things is gonna get so bad here in America where Esau, whenever he tries to bring forth order again, he's gonna use that type of those type of measures, right? Those type of draconian measures in order for him to reestablish order, right? Now, I want to get this article right here. Right here. This is from the World Economic Forum, and this was from January 10th, 2024, right? So this is um, an article that was published a whole year ago, right? But just I brought this out to add the point, or just to add to the point that misinformation is a major thing that is in these elites' agenda. How to control it, how to do away with this information, or how to restrict certain things being posted online or being viewed by the public, right? But it says global risk 2024. Disinformation tops global risks 2024 as environmental threats intensify. So it says certain bulletins. It says misinformation and disinformation are biggest short-term risks, while extreme weather and critical change to Earth systems are greatest long-term concern, according to Global Risk Report 2024. Two-thirds of global experts anticipate a multipolar or fragmented order to take shape over the next decade, and that's what we see. Things are polarized on all sectors. Everything is fragmented. You know, uh, and just society at large. Everything is very polarized. Everything is very separated. It just adds to the point that this is those legs. I mean, those feet that are part iron and part clay, right? They're just not going to stick together. They're going to be very fragmented and heavily polarized, right? As far as their point of view and their thoughts. But it says, report warns that cooperation on urgent global issues could be in short supply, requiring new approaches and solutions. Skipping down, it says, Geneva, Switzerland, 10th January 2024. Drawing on nearly 2 decades of original risks perception data, the World Economic Forum's Global Risk Report 2024 warns of a global risk landscape in which progress in human development is being chipped away slowly, leaving states and individuals vulnerable to new and resurgent risks against a backdrop of systemic shifts in global power dynamics, climate, technology, and demographics. Global risks are stretching the world's adaptive capacity to its limits. It says these are the findings of the Global Risk Report 2024, released today, which urges that cooperation on urgent global issues could be in increasingly short supply, requiring new approaches to addressing risks. Two-thirds of global experts anticipate a multipolar or fragmented order to shape over the next decade, in which middle and great powers contest and set, but also enforce new rules and norms. So, Lakia, I'm trying to get to the point. Let me just skip down right here. It says rise of disinformation and conflict, concerns over a persistent cost of living crisis, and the intertwined risk of AI-driven misinformation and disinformation. The societal polarization dominated the risks outlook for 2024. See, so even they're making the point of the AI, right, causing a lot of this misinformation and disinformation, right? And it's not just like AI by itself; it's people that use the AI and create certain, videos, certain fake news to try to, trick people, and that all goes back to leasing, right? When you go into Second Ezra's, as a matter of fact, let me just pull it up this way. Second Ezra's 14 and 18. It says, "For the time is fled away." It's like, "For the time is fled far away, and leasing is hard at hand. For now hasteth the vision to come, which thou hast seen." So leasing, right? Let me see. Let me look up what this means. Leasing. Right here. Leasing. Come on. Okay, what was up here? The act of lying, right? Also lie, falsehood, right? So when you read this again, Second Ezra's chapter was this 14 and 18, it says, "For the time is fled far away, and leasing is hard at hand." Right? Lies, man. It's a heavy time for misinformation. Damn near a lot of the videos that you see, through TikTok or Instagram, shit, even YouTube, a lot of them are AI driven, AI created, right? When you watch these videos of so-called UFOs, a lot of them be AI, and I'm gonna show you a video, that goes about not AI but misinformation, how they like to how people have access to internet and is able to post things that anybody can just post up something, man, and it could be a lie, right? But this just all goes to show you that Esau created this problem, but now in order to fix the problem, he has to create certain rules and boundaries and pretty much eliminate anything that he deems to be misinformation, right? But anyway, let me go back to this. So we're continuing on in the article. It says the nexus between falsified information and societal unrest would take center stage amid elections in several major economies that are set to take place in the next 2 years. So to let you know how it's going to go down, right? Elections are here. What's the name? Trump's about to take office, January 20th, right? Or whatever day his inauguration is, right? So he's about to take the office in that time. Who knows what could happen in just a couple of weeks, right? We saw what happened in, like I said, in New Year's, right? Major things happen, man. Can happen at any moment, right? Now, it says interstate armed conflict is a top 5 concern over the next 2 years. With several live conflicts underway, underlying geopolitical tensions and corroding societal resilience risk or creating conflict contagion. All right, well, that was the point on that. But I wanted to get this video. It kind of shows you, well, the title says United Healthcare CEO killed, causes flood of disinformation and conspiracy theories. So I'm going to play this video and then get some precepts.
There has been a flood of disinformation and online theories regarding the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson and the suspect charged in the case, Luigi Mangione. One such fake online theory involves a video clip posted on X with more than 2 million views that claims to show the victim discussing how Nancy Pelosi and others in Washington were, quote, working for us. The person in the video is a different Brian Thompson than the one who was shot and killed last week, and there is no evidence that suggests he had any connection to Congresswoman Pelosi. For more on this and other misinformation spreading online, Rona Tarrant is here with me now. She's the executive editor of our CBS News confirmed unit. So, Rona, there have been a lot of unverified claims floating around about this case, particularly about Mangione. We know he had a large digital footprint, but we've also seen social media accounts impersonating him. What's real, what's fake?
So as soon as his name came out on Monday, there was sort of a flood of fakes online as well as real information. So just two examples that really took off online that have been mentioned to me and gathered hundreds of thousands of views online. Number one was a Substack, which claimed to be a, quote, online manifesto from Mangione. Now, this Substack detailed having a mother with a medical condition that caused severe pain over several years. It said that United Healthcare was their provider. It claimed that he had a long-term grievance with the healthcare provider and that that's what caused him to do this. Now, by every indication, we can't see any evidence that this is connected to Mangione. Okay. Number one, Substack said they took it down for impersonation. Number two, this appears to have been launched after Mangione was arrested. The third thing is, as you said, he posted quite a lot online, and we can't see anything from his previous posts about his mother or anything that would indicate this as well. And one crucial thing is he posted quite a lot online, but seemed to have stopped around 6 months ago. And there's no indication that there was any post related to this attack or anything like it. Another thing that's been mentioned and gathered a lot of views right after Mangione's arrest was this YouTube account that claimed to be from Mangione. And it said, if you've seen this, I have already been arrested, but stay tuned, everything's scheduled. Now, this took off online and YouTube actually took it down as well for impersonation. So they said that this was actually changed as soon as the name came out to look like it was from him and fool people online.
So with so much information coming at us all the time, what is your advice on discerning what's real and what's fake? Because somebody sent me that Substack saying this is it. I mean, people are sharing this information as well.
Yeah, so obviously...
All right, I'll stop it there because, well, she pretty much just goes on and says some other stuff, but the point being here is what she said earlier, what she said just now, right? How do you tell what's real and what's fake? You know, ultimately the Spirit of the Lord has to be dealing with you, right, to tell what's real and what's fake. You know, a lot of people who are going to get caught up with this whole mess of misinformation and disinformation and whatever, right? But the main point, the main thing is the truth, right? The scriptures, the truth of the scriptures, right? But Esau is using these various forms of misinformation and, oh, this is a problem, we got to control this, we got to control that. This is all various means for him to get in control. We best believe that the enemy is behind all this, orchestrating this, leading this into the next step, which is going to be more censorship, more restrictions, right? More videos getting taken down, more cold words having to be used, because this man is not going to stop. And it's in the scriptures, right? When you go into what is it, Amos 8 and verse 11, it says, "Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh." That's what's coming, a famine, meaning a lack of. You ain't gonna be able to see the prophets out there on the highways and byways. You ain't gonna be able to go on YouTube and type in GMS, break down this, break down that. You ain't gonna be able to find that no more. Street preaching, you ain't gonna be able to find that, because they're gonna make it illegal. Whatever form they're gonna do it, they might use the narrative of the anti-Shem. They might use misinformation or medical misinformation or whatever it might be. Or they might just put restrictions of anything that's outside of what they're pushing has to be taken down. I don't know, but they're gonna make it to where the truth is gonna be persecutable by law. All right. Because it says here in verse 12, it says, "And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahweh and shall not find it." So everybody's going to be looking everywhere, right? Searching, digging, right? Trying to find out what the answer is. They're really going to be looking for the prophets, old videos, whatever, right? But it's going to be too late. You ain't going to find it. It says in verse 13, in that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst. Right? People are going to be thirsty for the truth, man. People are going to be thirsty for that wine, man. And again, that wine being representative of the truth, right? People are going to be thirsty, man. People are going to be asking for, looking for answers. Why is this happening? How do I prepare for this? What's going on? What does the Bible have to say? Are we living in biblical times? Is this the end? These are the questions that we're soon about to start seeing Jake come up with. But in this time, whenever the famine of the word hits, a lot of people are going to be asking for answers, and there ain't going to be none. Because like I said, preaching his word is going to be justifiable, to be persecuted, even death. Right? Now, it happened before, right? So it can happen again. So let's get another one. Let's get Isaiah 13, because ultimately, Esau is upset that we're out there. Really, Esau's upset that we got the truth back. Esau's upset of losing the kingdom, or his kingdom, right? And Esau don't really want to see us, come up. But this is Isaiah 13:1. Ultimately going back to that blessing, right? That Jacob supplanted Esau for, which ultimately that was all for us anyway. It was always for Jacob. But anyway, this is Isaiah 13:1. It says, the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles. And that's what we're doing, right? We're raising up that banner being this truth, and we're, exalting our voice throughout the web, out there on the highways and hedges, right? Proclaiming this truth, condemning Esau, condemning his society, condemning the way he rules, right? Proclaiming the prophetical end of America and the beginning of ours. Ultimately, Esau is like Herod, right? Whenever Herod heard of another king coming, he got upset and tried to kill Yahushua. And that's the same way Esau is feeling, right? He hears of another kingdom being established, his being taken down. So what's he doing? He's taking the necessary steps to try to avoid that, right? Now, like I said, he this truth has reached the gates of the nobles, right? That's why you hear of Donald Trump talking about the prophets of doom. You hear him say that a couple of times on Joe Rogan podcast and one on some speech that he made, right? So they know about us. The news have talked about us. Jake, through various platforms, various podcasts, have talked about us. So Jake knows. The world knows. It's just a matter of time before people start taking this serious, right? But the elites, them, your presidents, your governors, all them up top, and even the elites, they all know, right? But ultimately, like I said, they're afraid of that exposure, because as I mentioned earlier, this man is a vagabond. Well, I think I mentioned that in my last lesson, but this man is a vagabond, right? This man's just going back and forth, trying to hide, changing his name, hiding behind certain laws and legislation, so that way that way he won't have to be held accountable, right? But anyway, this is Isaiah 47 and verse 1. It says, come down and sit in the dust, O daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstone and grind the mill, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. Right? And that's what we're seeing, man. A lot of shameful spewing is coming out uh, 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 from under Esau, right? A lot of his dirty work, his dirty laundry, is being aired out, you know, and he doesn't like it. Now the whole world is seeing how this man truly gets down, who this man truly is, right? But it says, I will take vengeance and I will not meet thee as a man, right? Because at the end of the day, he's going to have to come face to face with Yahweh Shah. And he ain't coming as he did before, meek and on a donkey. This time he's coming with all his might and the host of angels, right? But this is all going to lead to that exposure and everything. It's all going to lead to him coming down, as it says in Revelation 12:12, with great wrath. This is Revelation 12:12. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Right? He knows his time is up. He's being exposed. He's losing control. He's losing his grip on the earth. Right? He has his satellites, his astrologers or whatever, looking deep into outer space, and they're seeing the angels, coming, this mothership or whatever, fathership coming. Right? So they know the time is short, man. The elect are waking up. This man is losing complete control, man, and best believe he's having cold sweats at night. Them restless sleeps. The scriptures talk about, thou art wearied in thy multitude of counsels. This man, I bet you this man is going here and there, talking to his wise men, talking to his prognosticators, right? Talking to anybody he can, all his wise scientists, all his wise, his so-called magicians or whatever, his sorcerers, trying to figure out a solution to his problem. Right, but at the end of the day, none of those ideas is going to prevail. Right, but he's going to come down upon everybody on the earth with that great wrath, though. Right, he's going to use all his might. He's going to bring down martial law. He's going to start killing people. This man's going to get down, man. It's going to be like a rabid pit bull let loose. Right, Esau unchained, man. That's what's coming. Let me see. That was pretty much it. I think that was it. But this is the reason why we tell Jake, man, is to return your how about Shem Shah, man, because this year that we're coming into, man, is not no light thing, man. The Apostle Tahar already coined this year, right? The year, I forgot how he coined it or exactly how he said it, but he pretty much said is the year that all prophecy or that we get delivered and that Esau gets destroyed. So at the end of the day, we know that we are at the end times. We pray this will be the last year, right? We pray this will be the last year. We understand that there's certain prophecies that have to take place before the end, right? But we really do pray that this is the end, man. Right? We're at 2025, man. World War III looks like it's about to pop off, right? The MOTB seems like it might get rolled out at any minute, right? So, hey, it's just a matter of time now, right? But yeah, I'm looking at it now. It says 2025, the hopeful year of our deliverance and the destruction and judgment on Esau. So that's what our Apostle Tahar, the elder Apostle Tahar, coined this year, right? So anyway, with that, I'm going to go ahead and close it out by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth and rule well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect pushing his word throughout the four corners of the earth in truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Until the next time, I'm going to say, Shalom. Kwam Yasha Allah.